So I weighed in on January 1st at 427 pounds. I weighed in this morning at 387 pounds. And I weighed in this January at 379. Hey there everyone, it's Misty here. Welcome to my 2020 weigh-in and update video. Apologize for the glare on my glasses, but, well, maybe I'll just take them off. My mascara transferred. And then of course where my, where my glasses have been, my makeup has moved around. We'll just call a spade and just go with it. So apologize. I'm looking a little crazy up in here. But at least you got to see my cool new glasses, right? So cute. Okay. First of all, my name is Misty. Hello if you're new here. I owe you guys a huge apology. I did not realize so much time had passed since I had done my last weigh-in and update video. I had no idea that it had been a month, almost a month. So, apologies. I'm sorry for that. Let's do the weigh-in and stuff, and then I'll catch you guys up on the health stuff. That way people who could care less about it can go on about their day, and those of you who are interested can stick around. So I've done something that I've been swearing I was going to do the last couple of years. We did my measurements and I took pictures.
It's ready. £407.0
I'm weighing in at 407 pounds. This is the biggest regain I've had since I started keto. And, yeah. So I was rewatching last year's weigh-in just to find the weight and so I could record this down. And I was talking so much about how we couldn't figure out, why my blood sugar was high and all that other stuff. And I realized that we've answered that. So I have two autoimmune diseases. One that was diagnosed in 2017, one that was diagnosed this past fall. The first one was myasthenia gravis. I was on immune suppression therapy called mycophenolate. It's Cellcept is the name brand. And it took us a year, over a year, to realize that mycophenolate causes hyperglycemia, which is elevated blood sugars, because I was eating zero carb and my blood sugars would be in the 200s. I mean, if you go back and watch any of my videos in 2018, I was so discouraged and so pissed off because we couldn't figure out what was going on. Unfortunately, it had gone on so long that my A1C was really elevated back in February when we took it. I think it was like 10.8, 10.6, I don't remember. So I was put on insulin. And then about a month later, maybe 2 months later, we upped my nerve pain medication to the highest dose of Lyrica, which also causes weight gain. So some of the weight gain, and then in June, I herniated a disc in my back and couldn't walk for a month. So it's just been one thing after another. So I would say probably 80% of my weight gain has been from medication and just life happening. And the other 20% is me just getting to a point where I'm like, I don't give a fuck, and just going on about my day. And I've had 2 times of that. The first was about the 2 weeks before surgery. I told my therapist, I was like, I cannot worry about one more thing. And he's like, just stop worrying about food. He's like, just do what you need to do, get things done, and then pick it back up right after you get out of the hospital. And I did do that. And the second time was last week before last, the week leading up to Christmas. So, yeah. So. I'm up. 407 is my biggest regain. And yeah, it just is what it is at this point. Like, I'm not going to sit here and make excuses. Like I said, most of it is because of the medication I'm on, and some of it is because of the way I've been eating. So I am going to control what I can control, and that's the way I've been eating. So my biggest weight loss goal for 2020 is to be consistent with keto and or carnivore. So I've been doing a bit more keto the last couple of days because I got a craving for strawberries, and I am of the mindset if my body is craving something good for me, that I'll go ahead and have it. And I've gone back and forth. I even went and watched like my first 4 updates of keto to be like, okay, what was I doing? You know, I was tracking macros, those kinds of things. I may still do that. I haven't quite decided. I think I'm going to let January be January because I feel so far behind on everything that I wanted to get done. So I don't think I'm going to start measuring macros until the end. Like if I start again, it'll be in the 1st of February. So, yeah, but let me go ahead and talk to you about my measurements. I'm going to throw up the pictures here. I am taking them. I took this in a Old Navy tankini that's brand new. I bought it, I don't know, 3 years ago, and it didn't fit. I will say the one thing about gaining my weight back is I haven't gained all my inches back, but I've gained a lot of them back. So, my neck is 21.5 inches. My left and right biceps are 23.5. My boobs, I think it's 68. We weren't sure where to measure the chest, so we just went around. I held my boobs up. We went around. That's 68. My waist is 64. My hips are 67.5. My left thigh is 26. My right thigh is 27. My left calf is 19. My right calf is 20.5, for a total of 360.5 inches. So a lot of inches. I mean, hello, I'm hella fat. We can all see that. We can see this. I'm not trying to hide and put on a filter or a really wonky lens that makes me, you know, look real skinny when I'm not. I'm not face tuning, any of those things. It is what it is. I'm not ashamed of my size. I don't have some skinny girl in my body dying to be thin. This has never been about losing weight for vanity's sake. I'm losing weight because I want to get off. Well, at first, the weight loss was the goal because I thought I needed to get down to 200 pounds to have back surgery. I had back surgery in October for a completely unrelated issue, but the 200-pound mark came from the neurosurgeon I saw when I was initially diagnosed with OPLL. And that's the ossification of the posterior longitudinal ligaments. Basically, the ligaments in my spinal cord are calcifying, and my spinal canal is already narrowed, so it's causing a whole lot of issues. Unfortunately, I saw my neurosurgeon at the beginning of the month because if you didn't know, my incision opened, and I'd gone back for a checkup that day. I don't remember what day that was in December. I don't have my glasses on. Hopefully I can see. Let me see. It's December. I want to say like the 6th. The 4th. Yeah, December 4th. So I saw the wound care doctor that day. I saw my neurosurgeon that day, and I went and got my vision checked that day. But when I was talking to the neurosurgeon, because at that point I was having really bad issues with my neck. Now I'm having bad, I don't know if you can see my lidocaine patch. Maybe you can. Now I'm having issues with the sciatic nerve going down my leg. We'll talk about that in a minute. But talking about the neck and the OPLL, he basically said that is a very last, we've exhausted every other method of pain management, because they're basically going to have to open me up from the rooter to the tutor, and it's going to be an entire back surgery, and it's not severe enough right now to warrant that. That'll be something if it gets to a point where I'm, close to being paralyzed or something like that. So thank goodness for that, because surviving this back surgery that was supposed to be one of the easiest back surgeries I ever did has been hell on earth. So my main goal for 2020 is not to worry about the scale. I'm going to record it. I haven't decided how often I will weigh, but I'm not going to allow that to set the mood for my journey, because you guys know me, especially those of you who've been with me with a hot minute. I'm like, I'm doing well, then the scale will either stop or it'll go up, and it'll do that for 3 or 4 weigh-ins, and then I get discouraged and I just stop. And I want to stop doing that. I want to be consistent in 2020. So I don't have a number in mind for weight. I mean, I could lose 50 pounds, I could lose 25 pounds. I don't really care. I would, as far as like body modification, rather than worrying about the number on the scale, I want to get back down into my 20 jeans. So I'm back up into 28s. And I have 1 pair of 30s, 1 pair of 28s, and 1 pair of 26s. And I would like to be able, by summertime, to be out of those jeans and I can put them away. So that's kind of my goal. But I'm not setting a number goal as far as it goes for like, weight or inches lost. I'm just not doing it. I'm refocusing on what the number one goal was when I started keto, which was to get off insulin. And I am not going to be able to make any significant amount of progress on my weight until I can get off insulin. And that's just how it is. And that really is the only thing that I control is what I eat. Like I cannot control. So the only thing I can control is what I feed my body. And I don't have control over anything else. So my goal is to be consistent with keto or carnivore and making sure that I'm not eating carbs. And so, yeah, that's really my main goal. My second goal, like I said, so I want off insulin. I want to be consistent with my food plan. That way, hopefully I can get off insulin at the same time. My goal is to be off insulin by June. But I'm not going to kill myself or be angry at myself if I don't make that. But I want to be making significant progress toward being off insulin. I'm hoping the next time I have my A1C checked, which should be February, that my A1C, because it was 7.8 the last time? I'm hoping it's below 7 this time. We'll see. But yeah, so those are really my main goals. I want off insulin. I want to lose, a few dress size or pant sizes. And then, I hope to keep track of my measurements and see how much I lose that way. Like I said, I'm still going to be tracking. I'm a numbers person. So I'm still going to be tracking my weight. I'm still going to be measuring my body. I'm still going to be keeping track of my blood sugar. I'm still going to keep track of my ketones. I'm still going to continue doing all those things, but I'm going to do my damnedest not to allow that scale to, sorry, I can't get centered. Allow that scale to derail my progress. So I'm taking the opportunity to not derail my progress. And that's a direct quote from me. So yeah, so that's really it about the weight. Yeah. It's almost a 30-pound weight gain? I'm irritated that it took so long for us to realize that it was the mycophenolate causing the issue with the hyperglycemia, and then it ended up with me going back on insulin. And if you guys remember that weigh-in update video that day, I cried because I'm like, I don't want to go back on insulin because it's going to make me gain weight. And sure enough, it did. But that's okay. And for those of you, I may get questions. If you're a type 1 diabetic and you're on insulin, your body needs insulin to live. Like your pancreas either doesn't produce enough, or whatever. So you have to have insulin to live your life. For those of us who are type 2, we have what's called insulin resistance. So our body produces enough or too much insulin, and we just don't know what to do with it. Our body's like, what is this? Where is this supposed to go? What is it supposed to do? So I don't really have to take insulin to live. I mean, I take insulin to lower my blood sugars, and I know you guys are like, Jason's on. This is what I'm doing for right now, okay? So yeah, so anyway, so that's why I'm like, insulin makes you gain weight. If you are not a type 1 diabetic, insulin almost always makes you gain weight. As far as intermittent fasting, how often I'm going to eat, I'm not. I've done the every 2 hour thing, which worked better than intermittent fasting did for me. But I'm going to go back to eating intuitively. And that was something that I'd gotten really, really good at and then stopped because I was trying this and I was trying that. Anything I could do to get my blood sugars regulated. So I'm going to go back to eating intuitively. The last couple of days, it's been like 4 times a day. And there are going to be days where it's 1 time a day. I realize that. So again, I'm not going to, I'm not going to put any parameters on myself. I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm just going to go with it, like I said, for at least the month of January. And then if I feel like I want to start tracking macros or something like that, then I will move in that direction. But for now, I just want to focus on, my body and allowing my body to tell me when it needs to eat. So yeah. Okay, so that's basically all the way in what I'm planning to do in 2020. I do have a couple of more videos coming. One of them should hopefully be up this weekend, and that's going to be, I'm doing a no-buy and a Project Pan, and that's going to go up on the weekends because that's when I'm going to post beauty-related stuff. I mean, that's what I've been doing. As far as weigh-ins and stuff, I'm going to hope to do updates every week and then throw in a what we have eaten for dinner or full days of eating, something like that. So I want to have 3 days during the week of content where it's about keto or weight loss, etc., and then leave some beauty related content on the weekends. And I'll talk about that more in my word of the year video, which is one more video that will be coming probably one day next week. I was hoping I could film it today, but today we did our it's been 11 months since we went to Sam's and bought meat. So we went today. We were completely out of everything beef related. So I'm pretty tired and I've got to rest up so I can vacuum seal that and everything. Okay, so that's all about the weight and stuff. So if that's all you're here for, have a fantastic day. I'll see you next week. If you're here for an update video, so you guys remember I had surgery on October 8th. I ended up back in the hospital the 11th or 12th of November because my incision had opened back up. And then it wasn't getting any better. So finally they got me into wound care. I saw the wound care doctor for the first time on December the 4th, and she decided that we were just going to do collagen and silver agonate, I don't remember. And then just dress it. So I had a nurse coming 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I was using Tagaderm, huge sheets of Tagaderm, which is the adhesive they normally put over an IV, to cover up my back so I could take a shower. She only wanted me to shower 3 days a week, so I would shower Monday, Wednesday, and Friday before my nurse came to change the dressing, and that we did that until the 23rd. Now, the week before the 23rd, I got a package from Amazon with an air fryer in it. My brother bought me an air fryer for Christmas, and I carried it. I didn't realize that's what it was in the box because it wasn't expected until the next day. Well, I felt like I'd opened it right back up, and I was so mad at myself. But we went on the 23rd to see the doctor, and it had closed up. There's like a little spot. She said it's less than a quarter of an inch if even. So she put a little bit of surgical glue on it, and she said it'll fall off and it'll seal right back up. And it's been really, really great. I mentioned, feeling the pulling and stuff, and she said since it didn't heal correctly, it didn't heal flat, it concaved because of reopening. So she said I will have a lot of scar tissue in that area. She said it'll probably take 3, 6, 9 months for that to kind of break up and not have any pulling in my back when I'm bending or those kinds of things. So luckily I can't bend over from standing up quite yet, and that's still pretty bothersome, but I can bend over from, like, if I'm sitting in a chair, like if I'm reaching down to put some socks on or something like that, I can bend over like that. And it's much, much easier. So I am completely done with wound care unless I have to go back. I'm completely done with my neurosurgeon unless I have to go back, and I may have to go back. So a couple of weeks ago, it may have been 3 weeks now, I had this immense pain in my right leg, and it was on a Friday, and I woke up that morning and it just came out of nowhere. And and it's like every time I think my body has experienced the worst pain of my life, it's like, hold on, wait a minute. And then this pain was so bad, and I couldn't put any weight on my leg. I couldn't walk. I thought I was going to have to call 911 to take me to the hospital to get some kind of medication, because I was taking Toradol, I was taking my Oxycontin or Codone, whatever. I was taking Tramadol. I was icing it. I put heat on it. I was doing everything. I was crying and praying, like, please make this stop. It was just the absolute, this pain was worse than the pain I had when I woke up from back surgery. And you guys know, I said that's the worst pain I've ever experienced. This was on a whole other level. And I could not get relief. It didn't matter what I did. It didn't matter if I was lying down. It didn't matter if I was sitting up. It didn't matter if I was leaning a little bit. It just did not matter. And so I told Rob, because Rob was at work that day, and I said, we may have to go to the emergency room when you get home. I was like, I'm having such a hard time. And he came home and he's like, are you ready to go? I'm like, let me try one more thing. I felt like maybe something was inflamed and it was causing an issue. So I take meloxicam every day. It's an anti-inflammatory, and my prescription is 15 milligrams. And that's basically the recommended dosage. You can take up to 75 milligrams according to the website for the medication. So I said, let me take, a large dose of meloxicam, and maybe it's just inflammation. And that helped. I took 45 milligrams of meloxicam, and within 2 hours, my leg was great. Editing Misty here. In the future, on January the 4th, I forgot to mention, I thought it was bursitis in my hip. All of the symptoms that I put into the Googles pointed toward bursitis. So that's why I went ahead and took the meloxicam, because bursitis is basically inflammation of the bursa sac in my hip. So that's where the meloxicam came in. I forgot to mention that when I was talking in this video. So, unfortunately, I've been having nerve pain go down my leg. Now, I thought it was bursitis in my hip, but I'm almost 100% sure that it's sciatica nerve pain going down my left leg, which had been alleviated from the surgery. But I think I mentioned that the disc above and the disc below, where I had surgery, was bulging too. So, that's another reason why I have to stick to low carb, because when I eat carbs, my body becomes super inflamed. And luckily, I restarted my methotrexate, which is a chemotherapy drug for the rheumatoid arthritis, and my azathioprine, which is my current immune suppression therapy. I started that on the 23rd. So hopefully that will help. And like I said, I've gone low carb. I've been low carb. I haven't had any carbs this week. So, back on the wagon. So yeah, so it's been a rough few months. Let's just be honest. Since July of 2016, it's sucked donkey balls. But I'm going into 2020 with a positive outlook, and I'll just keep doing what I do, just face things head on. And that's all I can do, is just keep fighting, keep putting one foot in front of the other, because the alternative is not something I even want to consider. So yeah, but anyway, that's it. This says I've been talking for an hour and 20 minutes. That cannot be right. And if I have been, I apologize. But anyway, so thank you guys so much. I'm excited to start. Let me know down below if you've restarted, or if you've started, or how you've been doing. So many of you guys are just kicking butt and taking names, and I'm really proud of you guys. I'm proud of all of us. A lot of people are like, you failed at your weight loss journey. No, I didn't. That's why I don't call keto a diet, because a diet insinuates that you're going to do keto and then you're going to lose your weight and then you're going to go back to the standard American diet. I literally cannot do that if I want my diabetes to be controlled by my diet, by what I eat. So keto carnivore is my way of eating, and a weight loss journey is for life. So, like I said, I'm not going to, allow comments that are like, you haven't lost enough weight, blah, 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 to really get to me. It's hard sometimes. It's really hard. But I'm going to do my best to just stay in my lane and do what I need to do. and hope that I come out on the other end great. So thank you so much for joining me, guys. Like I said, you can expect a couple more videos from me over the next couple of days. I apologize for my absence. The month just got away from me. Like I said, I had all sorts of doctor's appointment. Wayne got glasses. I don't know if you guys can tell, but my right eye is about dead. So these are cute, right? I got them from Amazon. My left eye is like 0.25. My right eye is 2.25. So, I'm basically going blind in my right eye. But anyway, yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, I hope to have some pretty consistent content going forward. We'll see. But yeah, so thanks so much. I hope you've had a good start to your 2020. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.